Catherina De Solieux is among a group of Australians who are suing banks for supervising fund transfers to the HyperVerse scheme. Catherina De Solieux had been anticipating a relaxed retirement. She had concluded her nursing career, was settling her mortgage on a property in regional Victoria, and had a savings account. She was introduced to an investment scheme named HyperFund by friends she met through a network marketing group. She intended to use the profits as a retirement income source. After initially investing small sums, she eventually poured in $80,000. De Solieux was initially able to withdraw about $10,000, but within a few months, the remainder vanished. 3 years later, I lost my house, she admits. I lost all my savings. I was unable to pay the mortgage. When I eventually sold the house and paid off the rest of the mortgage, I was in significant debt by that time. I had very little left. De Solieux, who is now 71, reveals that she survives on a pension, which barely covers her rent. I don't have a single penny in the bank or in my pocket now. I can't afford to visit the dentist. I can't get my car serviced adequately. The list is endless. I can't even get my hearing tested. Friends have been dropping off food packages at my doorstep. I have nothing left. The ordeal has left De Solieux in a state of depression and suicidal thoughts. I became extremely depressed and contemplated suicide. It's a dreadful thing to confess, but that's how I felt. Every morning since that incident, I wake up sobbing. I can't start my day without blaming myself and feeling the urge to punish myself. De Solieux is among several Australians who lost funds to the HyperVerse scheme and are now partaking in a legal effort to reclaim their lost money from the banks that facilitated transfers to the project. Wealth Recovery Solicitors, a UK-based law firm specializing in investment fraud, will represent De Solieux's case. She is one of the Australians who moved funds to a crypto exchange. To become a member of HyperFund, which was later renamed as HyperVerse. She is among over 100 individuals in the UK gearing up to initiate legal proceedings to recover their funds. WERS reports that it has successfully resolved 5 HyperVerse cases in the previous month, with an average value of $40,000 to $77163. The firm states that it has an additional 6 meters of 11.6M in ongoing claims. This action follows the firm's recent settlement of a $1 million claim against the National Australia Bank this month, which was related to losses from a separate, unrelated investment scheme. A probe by Guardian Australia exposed extensive losses linked to the HyperVerse scheme. This scheme was introduced in December 2021 via an online promotional video that showcased a fictitious CEO, Stephen Rees-Lewis, along with appearances by Australian blockchain entrepreneur Sam Lee and his associate Ryan Zhu. Lee has recently been indicted in the US for alleged conspiracy to commit fraud due to his supposed involvement in HyperVerse, which court documents describe as a pyramid and Ponzi scheme purported to have swindled investors out of $1.89 billion at 286 BN. Josh Chin, a lawyer, states that WERS has conducted a trace of HyperVerse funds and a related exchange, who.com. The firm alleges to have discovered that a group of HyperVerse accounts had received nearly $300 million of 458 on the Tron exchange alone, with 96% of these funds being transferred to who.com. The firm claims it has traced at least $2.7 billion sent to who.com, which it alleges had connections to between 50 and 100 known scam entities. Who.com, an acronym for Hyper Optimum Organization, went under in 2022. Guardian Australia has been unable to pose questions to as its website no longer exists. Chin asserts that the crypto tracing work is essential to demonstrate to the banks that customers have been defrauded. Firstly, we have to overcome the challenge of proving it's a scam, Chin informs Guardian Australia. When it comes to alleged cryptocurrency scams, we essentially have to prove that the alleged victims no longer possess the funds. So we have in-house technology that allows us to trace cryptocurrency. We are compiling a general exhibit to overcome that initial challenge of proving it's a scam, what transpired, and why the victims believed it was a legitimate investment. Chin points out that banks have a responsibility under signed codes of conduct to identify any unusual activity among customers, which should initiate protective measures to prevent customers from losing funds. This will form the foundation of claims against the banks, which can be resolved in collaboration with the financial ombudsman, without the need for litigation, a process that is complex, costly, and challenging. Even if a class action is successful, he says, a court order is unlikely to result in the recovery of funds. You might receive a court document that confirms, yes, that's your money. You have proven it's yours, but at the end of the day, if the third party involved, the exchange, no longer has those funds within their jurisdiction, you essentially have a worthless piece of paper. De Solieux expresses her satisfaction that she can now attempt to recover her lost funds. Look, it may or may not succeed, she admits. Yes, if I recover my money, that would be fantastic. But if I don't, I have to learn to accept it. More importantly, she hopes that Li and Zhu are held accountable for the losses. I must say, that's one of the things I deeply care about. The entire concept of justice and individuals involved in these schemes really need to be brought to justice, she insists. Li has denied being the mastermind behind HyperVerse, stating his involvement was confined to providing technology and managing the funds of the organization. He did not respond to questions from Guardian Australia prior to the publication of a previous article about his role in the establishment and operation of HyperFund and HyperVerse. But he has previously refuted the allegations that the schemes are a scam. In a WhatsApp message following the publication of the article, he claimed it contained misstatements about his role in running the Hyper schemes, but did not respond when asked to specify them. He also alleged that people on the internet continue to fabricate things.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell